All right, welcome everybody. Today's video finds us over here at Kamphaeng Phet. And right here behind me, as you can see, is the Thung Seithi Fort. And this is a fairly new construction. It was built in 1237. So anyway, it's in amazing shape. It was built in the Sukhothai era. And the reason why is Kamphaeng Phet used to be a frontier town. And it was built over here to protect the west from the Burmese. The Burmese and the Thai, and back in the day, the Siamese, however they wanted to be called, they were always exchanging unpleasantries. So the Burmese would come in, they would fight, and the Thais would go over there and fight. And anyway, relations were not always well. So anyway, this was built in 1237 and was used under the Sukhothai era until about the 1438. And then it was later remodeled under the Ayutthaya period, which the Ayutthaya period was 1350 to 1767, whenever this city fell. So this fort has been used. It's 83 meters across. It's kind of a weird shape because the way the land is, and it's, I believe, 6 meters high in some places. So let's take a look at this, and then we're going to go over and I'll try to check out some of the city wall and show you one of the other gates and stuff like that. So let's enjoy a little bit of Thailand's history here. So right back here behind, you see this round thing? This was designed for cannon. They could swivel the cannon around and they could use it to fire off to the west if there were any invaders coming from over there. Now, Kamphaeng Phet was a very important city. It was a frontier town, but it also was kind of like a garden city. They grew a lot of crops. Today, Kamphaeng Phet area is really sleepy. I mean, there's just rice paddies and all of that here in central Thailand, but back in the day this was a crucial city for the Kingdom of Sukhothai and the Kingdom of Ayutthaya. You can just see this is absolutely massive. So it's roughly 83 meters across from that corner to this corner. So this would have been where the troops would have been inside of here, and they could climb up and they could man the walls. How fantastic is this? And then this back low wall was not important because by the time they got to here, if enemy troops were on this back wall, the fort is gone. So they have the normal tops of the wall that you see, which is a common styling for these old forts. So the fort walls are made of this hard laterite stone. See how thick it looks. Looks like it's maybe about 5 meters thick or so. And then the front of it, slightly sloped. And I'm sure there was a moat out here, but I'm not sure if they put any like dirt works out in front of it. So this would have been where the water was at. And then they had the portals there for the cannon and up there to protect the troops. Yeah, this is awesome. And it's just right here next to the road. I'm the only soul out here enjoying this. There was a guy over by the front that's selling like Buddha amulets, and he looked kind of sleepy. He was laying around, and when I pulled up, he jumped up like I was going to buy an amulet. But I'm more interested in checking this old fort out. Let's look at the corners, and then we'll go over to some more of the city. So you can see they would have had ladders to get up there, and they have quite a few of these little nooks right here. And this is just in the corner, kind of the little added fortification to it. Kind of a weak point would be the corner, but they can fix that with that little shape. Yeah, this is nice. Okay, let's go into the town now. This is kind of a cool look from the very front of it. All right, so we took a look at that fort. Now let's take a look at the wall, and then we'll look at one of the fortifications outside of the wall. So we're right here in Kamphaeng Phet proper. This is the old city wall, and it's right here. Right behind me would be the Ping River. So this is one of like the batteries that was right here on the southern wall that would protect it. And let's take a look at it, and then we'll look at the Dan Gate that's down here, and one of the fortresses. So this has two different names. It has the Pom Chow Indra or the Pom Chow Inn. And this is a little battery right here. And we'll walk up there on the hill and take a look at it. So they call it a turret. So there would have been a place here for cannons. And they say this was built in the European style in the 14th to the 15th century, somewhere in there. So this would have probably been designed by the Portuguese, and it would have been in the Ayutthaya era, whenever Ayutthaya took over this. So they had places here to shoot, and these were the slits, and then they would have had a moat right outside of here to make it even more difficult to attack. And this is just right here on the southern end of this wall. And the wall is just massive. Some of it's been restored. Most of it is just kind of in a little bit of rubble. We can see kind of how it looks right here. So it would have been quite impressive. And this was all pretty much to keep the Burmese out. And you can see how thick this wall was. I mean, it's a full 10 to 12 meters thick at the base, and probably 6 meters high all along. And it's like 2.5 kilometers. That's how long it stretches here on the riverbank, I believe. And then it just has, all inside of here are temples, and this would have been the city itself. So right here is the Dan Gate. This is the southern gate into the city. And we can see how it looks. So this has all been redone. Back in the old days, this would have probably had, you know, like an arch over the top of it, and a place for, you know, the oxen and the little wagons and everything to come in, and people. Then they would have had a bridge, probably a wooden bridge that they could have burned or something over this moat. And then right outside of it is the fortification. The moat is quite wide. It's probably 30 meters wide, which would have been pretty formidable to get over. And then you'd have had people up on top of the walls that could have fought. And you can see how the walls look here. Now there's a bike path that goes around part of it. It's kind of cool. You could go and pedal around and look at it all you wanted. And here is the Chow Chan Fortress. So this is right outside of the Dan Gate. So they would have been able to position troops out here. And this would have been last ditch. They would have had to get through that fortress that guards the southwest to get over to here. But these would have been troops that could have controlled people going in and out of the city, check to make sure that they're friendly, and they have all their documentation, whatever that would be in kind of the old days. Probably just, hey, who are you? All right, you can come. So not a whole lot left here. There's just, this was the place for the soldiers to stay. Not sure how many guys were here or what. I'm not too familiar with it. So this is what it looks like from the back side. And then this would have been a little part of the canal that would have fed the moat coming off the Ping River. All right, guys, so that's going to finish our look here at the Chow Chan Fortress and the Dan Gate and that fortress outside the walls. And you can see that little turret and kind of see how Kamphaeng Phet was built. This is a fantastic little town. I mean, it was there's so much history to it, and it's overshadowed so much by Ayutthaya, Sukhothai and all of that. But it's definitely worth coming over here and checking out. There's more to do than just look at piles of bricks. You know, you can look around and see kind of how the defenses was and learn a little bit about the history of the region. This was a very, very important town for the Sukhothai and for the Ayutthaya Kingdom. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed it. This was not too long. I flew the drone around that one fortress and saw things over there. So if you like that, then definitely smash the like button and subscribe to my channel. If you're new here, that's what I do. I just show you things that I see and tell you a little bit about what I know. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me down in the comments. Tell me what you think, if you liked it, or if you've been here, or if you want to come, let me know for sure. And if I forgot to say something, ask me a question. I'll do my best to explain it also. So from over here at Kamphaeng Phet, remember guys, life is a journey. Until next time, enjoy.